Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar is presented to you by Cloud Distribution and iBwave. And the topic of today's webinar is the power behind great in-building wireless experiences, an introduction to iBwave. My name is Jason Byrne. I'll be your co-host for today's session. I will be running the session through Zoom and recording this for everybody's benefit as well. Today's session will be interactive. If you have any questions, please use the raise hand or chat question window, and we will get to your questions at the end of the webinar. If we run out of time at the end of the webinar and we haven't answered everybody's questions, we will come back to you personally and have those questions answered to you via email. Moving along. Okay, a little bit about us, Cloud Distribution. Cloud Distribution was founded in 2015, specifically to introduce a new distributor to the market that was value-added around cloud-based, potentially software and services. We have a number of offices around Australia and Asia Pacific, including Sydney, Melbourne and Gold Coast, as well as Kuala Lumpur and our Southeast Asia headquarters in Manila. We have 33 staff across these locations, all focused specifically around delivering value-added distributor services to our partners, resellers and integrators. And yes, we are one of the only ones that are concentrating on value-adding around cloud-based services and products. We have two focuses. We're specifically focusing on the reseller channel, which is the channel that's out there selling technology. And we also have the integrator channel, which is focused on providing services to end users. And where we can add value is where we have our products in our portfolio that we can add value to additional services to the partners as well as to their end users. Some of our vendors are specifically focusing around security and security of infrastructure. And the reason that we've brought iBwave onto the portfolio is that iBwave has shown an interest in being able to look at what wireless can do for technology in today's world. If we look at what wireless is a critical part of everybody's infrastructure on delivering services and capabilities throughout all organizations in all verticals in all industries. The most important part of that is making sure that it's designed well, it's managed well, it's troubleshooted well, and also secured well. And that's where we believe it's a great fit into our portfolio. Today's presenters, we have Sundar and Damien. Sundar is going to present the introduction to iBwave, and at the end of the presentation, Damien and Sundar will be available for questions, and we will run through all of those as best as we can, as mentioned earlier. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Sundar now, who is going to present today's session, an introduction to iBwave, specifically focusing around how iBwave came about, why they're specialists in their field, and how they can deliver a full wireless seamless solution for your organization and your customers. So over to you, Sundar.
And technical lead for the APAC region at iBwave Solutions. And I will be running through today's presentation deck. And we've actually allotted 10-15 minutes time frame for you to ask us questions. And we will be glad to go through those answers with you. So without further ado, let me go through the presentation deck for today. So what iBwave has seen is there's been a big evolution for the wireless era. And then way back in the 1950s, we were only having this landline connectivity, moving all the way to the 1970s. And in the 1980s, we saw some penetration into the wireless industry with those very commonly termed brick phones. And then in the 1990s, it became more prevalent with email exchanges, smartphone concepts, internet connectivity. And in the 2000s, you find that, it's becoming even more prevalent. And it's not going to stop there. We see that we can't live without wireless connectivity. In fact, most of the day-to-day tasks is done via our smartphones or tablets. And if you look at the number, it becomes a bit staggering, because what we notice is that there's going to be 8 billion mobile devices in the world. And this was the stats that was taken as of 2016. So in present day 2018, this is way above 8 billion mobile devices. And if you look at it in terms of per person allocation, there's going to be 3.4 mobile devices on average per person. And by 2020, we are going to be getting 72% of companies that will have their bring your own device policy. Okay, now going into the indoor arena, we are noticing that 80% of all mobile data or the traffic is going to be originated from the indoor scenario. So maybe like indoor buildings, shopping centers, your offices, homes. 80% of mobile data is going to be generated from indoors. And this demand will only go up. In fact, by 2020, 600% increment of the amount of indoor mobile data traffic that is supposed to be growing. So you can see it is always increasing. And this is also because